Hello everyone, this is Kavita, and today we are going to start with the first chapter of class 11th, some basic concepts of chemistry. Now, this topic is quite important, and how did the discipline of chemistry evolve, that we will see in the other video. But today we just discuss what are the objectives of studying this lesson first of all. So, once you study the chapter Basic Concepts of Chemistry, you're going to understand what is the contribution of India in the development of chemistry. What is the role of chemistry in different spheres of life? What are the three different states of matter? You'll also understand how to classify the different substances into elements, compounds, and mixtures. Most of it has been already done in the class ninth also. You will also learn how to use scientific notations and also determine how significant figures are calculated or counted. We'll also go through differentiation between the precision and accuracy. SI units, we'll be talking about various laws of chemical combinations. You will appreciate the significance of various units, various definitions like what is atomic mass, what is average atomic mass, what is molecular mass, and what is the formula mass. Describe the term mole and molar mass. This is quite simple, and you've already done this in class ninth, 10th also. Calculate the mass percent. This also you have already covered. Determine the empirical formula and molecular formula for a compound from the given experimental data. And also the last is performing the stoichiometric calculations. So right now this is a very simple basic introduction of this chapter. Let us first directly jump to the definition of chemistry, because that's what I have made this today's session about. So here, let's understand the meaning of chemistry. So here, chemistry, the definition of chemistry, we can see it that chemistry deals with the composition, structure, properties, and interaction of matter, and is of much use to human beings in daily life. So the first important point here is, what does chemistry deal with basically? So chemistry deals with everything which has to do with matter. So the most important point here is matter. So everything which is about matter, how, what is matter made up of, what is the structure of that, the constituents of that particular matter, what are the properties of that matter, and how does my matter interacts. So the spelling is wrong here in the NCERT. So interaction of matter, the reactions, that means. So basically, chemistry will be dealing with the composition, structure, and properties and interaction of matter. Or in simple language, you can also say that chemistry is the science of atoms and molecules. So, in a very simple way, what is chemistry? It is the science, branch of science, which deals with the study of atoms and molecules. Okay, and atoms and molecules are the building blocks of matter. Let us now come to the topic number one, that is, what is the importance of chemistry and why are we studying this chapter? So, children, chemistry plays a very important role in our daily life. So, we have just taken few points over here. So, the first our topic, that is the importance of chemistry, is chemistry's principles, whatever laws, whatever knowledge of chemistry is there. It is being used in areas like predicting weather patterns, functioning of brain, because even the neurotransmitters are there. How are they functioning? Because they are basically chemicals. Operations of a computer, production in chemical industries. You are manufacturing fertilizers, alkalis, acids, salts, dyes, polymers, drugs, soaps, detergents, metals, and alloys, right? So here you can, I'm telling you, you can use anything like whatever it comes to your mind, manufacturing, whatever chemical is there, you can write down that in the exam. Acids, bases, salts, drugs, fertilizers, soaps, detergents, metals, alloys, etc., etc. So whenever there is a production of something, you know it involves the principles of chemistry. So our first point was, principles of chemistry are used in various areas like in weather patterns, the brain functioning, the operations of a computer, as well as in the production of chemicals in various industries. And then you can just go on writing all these, at least two to three you can write down in the exam. The second important way is it also the knowledge of chemistry helps in contributing to our national economy. How? So the way we are, consuming the food, the various productions of food, etc. These human needs, these demands are met by the knowledge of chemistry, the production of the food materials, the healthcare products, and the other materials which we are using, like air conditioners, for example, improving the quality of life. Now, for example, we have here the production, large scale production of a variety of fertilizers. You're not using just one fertilizer, but there are a lot of fertilizers. Why are we using these fertilizers? Is because we want to improve the production of our crops, improved variety of pesticides, because we want the pest free crops to be coming and the yield should be very high, the production should be very high. Insecticides. So, improving the variety of pesticides and insecticides. Chemistry also provides methods for the isolation of life saving drugs from natural resources and making it possible for synthesis of such drugs. That means you are able to extract these medicines from some natural resources, as well as there are certain drugs which we are using for manufacturing in the laboratories, which can be used for saving the lives of people. Now here, children, the most important thing I would like to draw your attention to is that the drugs which are mentioned over here, the number one, cisplatin. This drug is important for your board examination also. Like you can, for MCQs, this can be asked. So drugs like cisplatin, you have to learn. Taxol is also a very important drug. Where are they used? They are used in the treatment of cancer, that is called cancer therapy. So the meaning of therapy is treatment, cancer treatment. The next drug which is important for exam is AZT. The short form is which is azidothymidine. This is used for you know helping AIDS patients so that the conditions the conditions does not worsen, they remain stable. It will help not not allow the virus to replicate. So that is how these three drugs are important. Please remember them. The third use is that it also chemistry knowledge. It helps us to, in a large extent, in the development and growth of our country or any country for that matter. Like whatever knowledge the scientists and the chemists have got, the chemical principles they have learned, you can use these principles to design and synthesize new material with your desired properties, whatever you want, like specific properties which can be magnetic properties, electric properties, optical properties. For example, you want to synthesize a diamagnetic or a paramagnetic substance, you want to synthesize an electrical insulator or a good conductor or a superconductor. Similarly, in optical properties, you want optically active or optically inactive kind of substances. So you can use all these knowledge of chemistry for production of substances of desired choice. This has example we have been given here is production of superconducting ceramics, conducting polymers, optical fibers, etc. So, at least one example would suffice. Chemistry also helps in manufacturing many products. As you know, industries are established, and in these industries, we can manufacture lots of chemicals. And also, there is a big workforce working there, so we are also generating the employment. So, in this manner, we are helping in the development and growth of a nation. Also, do not forget that in coming recent years, chemistry has helped in dealing with some of the serious aspects of environmental degradation with quite a fair degree of success. That means we are not 100% successful, but however, we have been successful in doing some better things. Like, for example, we have been using these chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, they are called as CFCs. In general, they are also called as freons. Freons are used as refrigerants in air conditioners, so they are not very good for the environment because they start getting released in the stratosphere, and they start depleting the ozone layer. And you all know ozone layer is protecting us from the harmful ultraviolet radiations. So if the ozone layer gets depleted, we are ultimately, the people, the mankind is going to suffer, and all the, not only mankind but all the living organisms are going to suffer, because these UV radiations can cause serious problems related to skin and other factors. So chemistry is trying to find out various ways to find safer alternatives to environmentally hazardous refrigerants. So like for example, we can use ammonia as one of the coolants, which is a natural coolant, and it is not going to deplete the ozone layer. We can also use carbon dioxide as a safe alternative. It's a very good refrigerant and a coolant. So there are many other hydrocarbons which you can use as coolants, like propane, for example. So I mean, with the knowledge of chemistry, you can find out some better alternatives, so that you can enjoy your life. Also, you can keep the environment safe. So there are many such chemicals being synthesized, which are safer alternatives. After that, we also understand that there are problems related to management of greenhouse gases. This is extremely important for examination. Once again, I would like to tell you this point, that what are the greenhouse gases. So these gases are like, for example, carbon dioxide is one of the greenhouse gases. Then you have got the methane, you have got the water vapor, and so on and so forth, and some nitrous oxide, etc., etc. So these are the gases which are actually absorbing the infrared radiations and re-emitting them in the on the planet, and making the planet very very warm. So this does not keep the environment very sustainable and habitable. So the living organisms, of course, in hot environment will not survive. So there has to be a certain degree of temperature for us to survive. So if these gases go on increasing on the earth, they will make the earth very very hot. So these are some of the serious problems which are very concerning for the chemists, and how to manage these gases is one of the challenges and concerns. The second concern we can see here is the how the biochemical processes are happening in our body. So we still do not know the mechanisms of the some of the majority of the biochemical processes. Then thirdly, the concern or challenge is that how we can use enzymes, that is the biocatalysts, for large scale production of chemicals. And the next fourth challenge is synthesizing the new exotic materials. So these are, children, some of the important points which are important. And in our country, like India, which is not a developed country but rather a developing country, we need lots of talent, we need lots of creativity. So we need chemists who can make our planet um, a very good one. And chemists should accept challenges. You must understand how to tackle these problems. And for that, before you do anything about chemistry, you need to know the basic concepts of chemistry. So without the knowledge of chemistry, you cannot do anything. So that was one thing. And now, before we just close our topic, let us revise quickly, like what are the problems, what are the reasons, and what are the factors, the importance of chemistry. So one by one, let's go. So the first principles of chemistry we have studied. The first important use of chemistry is that we are predicting weather patterns. We are also understanding functioning of brain. We are also understanding the operations of computer. We are also doing production of acids, bases, and salts. Then we have the productions of not only acid, bases, and salts, but also dyes, fertilizers, polymers, soaps, detergents, metals, alloys. So out of this, you can just pick up any of them and start speaking in the examinations. So first important point of chemistry is principles of chemistry. Okay, just a minute. So principles of chemistry is very important. Remember this. How are you going to use these principles? So this is the answer of that. You're going to predict the weather patterns. You're going to understand how the brain functions. You're going to understand how the computer works. You're also going to produce lots of chemicals like acids, bases, salts, dyes, fertilizers. This list is endless. You can write your own answers over here. The second important point about chemistry is it is contributing in the national economy. It helps us to meet the human needs for food. It also helps in healthcare products. For example, as I told you, we have got improved variety of pesticides and insecticides. We have also synthesized some life-saving drugs. The important ones I've already told you, cisplatin and Taxol are used in cancer therapy, and AZT, that is azithromycin, is used for the production, for helping the AIDS patients. So AZT is important. Thirdly, the growth and development of a country depends upon chemistry, knowledge of chemistry, the chemical principles. We have to use them in designing materials which have got specific properties as desired by us. Which properties are we talking about? We are talking about the electrical properties, we're talking about the magnetic optical properties. Then production of superconducting ceramics, conducting polymers, optical fibers. So anything like this you can quote in your exam. We have also established a lot of chemical industries which contribute to our economy and also gives lots of employment to various people who are working there. There are certain challenges, children, which we have to deal with and related especially with the environment degradation. For example, we have these chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons, commonly known as freons, which are depleting the ozone layer. So they are hazardous. So some safer alternatives have been synthesized. I've given here some of the examples of safer alternatives. As you can see, carbon dioxide, we have ammonia, we have hydrocarbons like propane. These can be used as coolants and refrigerants. There are certain challenges again. Management of greenhouse gases like methane, carbon dioxide, water, nitrous oxide. These gases are, you can say, they are warming the environment. They are absorbing as and re-emitting the infrared radiations, making our planet Earth hotter. How to understand the mechanism of biochemical processes is also a challenge. How do we use enzymes for the large scale production of chemicals is also a challenge. So, our country, like India, which is a developing country, needs chemists who are very talented, who are very creative, so that they can, tackle these challenges and how to tackle them without the knowledge of chemistry. So, without the knowledge of chemistry, you won't be able to tackle them. So, that is why this chapter has been given to you in your syllabus so that all the basic terms which are there in chemistry can be understood. So that's all for this video. So you please revise this, and I'm sure 1 or 2 marks questions will be asked from here. Thank you so much. Good day.